How is everybody? Somehow I just unplugged my light. So I want to leave the floor up to everybody out there. I don't want to have the floor, but I will start with the floor. And the first 5 minutes of this video is going to be an introduction verbally of what I do. Somebody would like to take my place and think they can explain better what I do. That is, I have nothing against it. I just want to get this across best I can. Can I say it's a game? Maybe. You take shapes and try to make something of them. Try to understand them on another level. See the way this boat holds up two cubes, both pointed inward. I can also make these cubes point outward. See the way I put this heart over here? See that heart? And see the other? That's my building. If you can note what time the building at 2:12 made the noise. The hearts come together here. The hearts come together kissing over here. The hearts come together face to face over here. So here they're face to face. Here they're back to back. Here they're separated, right? But if they're separated, it's automatic. You see the separation here and here? They're together. But the actual separation is, look how far they're separated apart from each other. There's one whole block in between them here, and there's one whole block in between them here. So that makes the 2 block and the 1 block. Let's call it 2 moons and 1 moon. Let's call it the Earth moon and the Mars moon. Also note that Venus, which has no moons, and Mercury, that has no moons, that the Mercury moon, I'm going to assume, is going to get, the Mercury moon is going to get, I have to think about this, the 1 Mercury and the 1 Earth moon. And the 2 planet, right, is Venus. And the 2 moons of Mars. So my question is, does Mercury go over to the Mars moons and Earth go over to Venus? The Venus goes over to the Earth moon and Mercury goes over to the Mars moon. I'm going to explain to you what I'm getting at. I'm going to try to explain it to you. 33 comes together. Should Mars and Venus come together, that would be 2 and 2. Okay, if Earth would come together, that would be 1 and 1. So now we have a scenario. Is it going to be 1 and 1 or 1 and 2? Let me try and explain it again. Okay, here, let's say, is what can we do? How can we explain this? I'm just going to do it here. 0, 0, x, x. Okay, so Mercury is the first planet. Venus is the second planet. They both don't have any moons. Earth is known to have 1 moon that I grew up with. Mars has 2 moons. Do I now call the Mercury moon and give it over to Mars and go Mercury and Mars together? How about M and M? We can do that. We can also go with Mercury. What happens if Mercury went to Earth? We'd have M and E. So in this situation, we'd have the 1 and 1 equation. And in this situation, we'd have the 2 and 2 equation. This one will create 3. This one will create 8. That's the way into life right here. The 3rd finger, the 8th finger, as also it is the 13th finger. 3, 8, 13. Why? If you're counting from your toes, you'd have 10 toes plus my other hand is 15, 16, 17, 18. It would be the 18th. If you count 10 toes and it's the 3rd one, it would be the 13th. M for 13, the difference is 5, E and R equaling to the ocean or equaling to the word Mercury. Matter and energy, Mars and Earth. The Mercury moon goes into Venus. Let me write this down. So we have the Mercury. Okay, sorry, it doesn't go into Venus. It goes into Mars. This is the first planet, and this is the fourth planet. And this has 0 moons, but you're using the first planet to Mars with 2 moons, bringing those numbers together. Now we have Venus and Earth, where Venus is the second planet and Earth is the third planet. Notice 1 and 4 equals to 5, and 2 and 3 equals to 5. Now we equate them also with the second planet of Venus. Sorry, we had the second planet of Venus and the 1 moon. This would be planet, and this would be moon. And at the end, we both end up with 3. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 is 2 and 3. 1 plus 2 and 1 times 2 is 2 and 3. They both equate again to 55, or base value of 3 and 5. The invert of 2 is 5. The invert of 5 is 2. When you run 8 and 3 together, that is the division of the 7th gate of what 2 is, because 2 is 2 and 7. Where do you get 7 from? Don't ask me. Ask those who created a bigger one. There's 9. I only see 2 here. So therefore, there's 7 left. 2 and 7. Now, does it work mathematically? 3 times 2 equals to 6. 6 minus 4 equals to 2. Now we're going to go 3 times 7 equals to 21, which equals to 2 plus 1 equals to 3, minus 7 equals to 4. So we now match them both up. 2 plus 7, let me do that again. 3 times 7 is 21. 2 plus 1 equals to 3. So what has happened is we went 7, we minus 4, and it came down to 3. Now we go 3 times, where's the next one? 3 times 2 equals 6. So what did we do? We worked with 2. So we have 6 minus the 4 equals to the 2. Or which way did I go with that? 6 minus 4 equals to 2. 7 minus 4 equals to 3. So both equations work out. See that 2 and 3 that's left over? That 2 and 3 that's left over. Home BC. AD and BC, after and before the death. This is your, now we're going to have, now if we did it the other way, we'd have a different equation, but let's finish with this equation. The numeric value for Mercury, also for the word September. Does anybody know how to say 7 in French? Well, it's sept. You can also look at scepter. Okay, when you have that word 7 in the 9th month, that is your gateway to birth. 7 and 9 are not like the other odd numbers. In fact, they're all different. I'm just going to do a quick scaling over here. 1, 3, 5, 7. Okay, then down here, okay, is 1, 3, 5, 7. There is no 9 because 9 goes over here, right here. This is where 9 goes. And what was over here? It was number 5. So to understand, to see if it mathematically works out, we're going to go to a number 3, let's say, and a number 2. And we want to know if 5 and 9 are on the same line, and we flip these over, and 5 and 9. The same way as if you get 1 and 4, you'll get 6 and 3. So you're home to your creation because 6 and 3 equals to the word 11, and that's your base creation. I call it the student. They're calling in the game in French and craps, Yo 11. It means coming of the student. Yo, okay, equals to Y25 Earth and O 15. Like Yom Kippur, 25 and 15. This being Mars, let's call it the Mars dot, and we're going to call this the Earth line. So we're going to put the line of Earth here and the dot over here. And to create that perfect 360 degrees, the total is 27. We're back to the gate. Back to the gate. What is this? What did I just do? 360 degrees, 3 by 6. You see what this is here? Right? Well, imagine if this dot, let's say this was the dot here. I'll put it over here. Imagine this was connected to the dot here. See this area space? Right? It's hooked up right in the center. So I'm losing that area space by this, and then it turns around, creating its diameter. And then it can go anywhere it wants. The I letter, what it can do. So we were talking about the Earth Moon. Mercury is 103. Mars is number 51. We have 154 in this equation. We can also look at this as JC, as in Jesus Christ. We can also look at this as what is 10 and what is 11. The reason for that is the fabrication of 3 is from 11, 1 and 1. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 is 1 and 2 equals to 3. That is the first fabrication. And the first time you ever get the 3, okay, not counting the number 3, is when you get to 21, you count it as 21st. You say first and 21st. So it's noted that you begin again, and numbers start over again. You might have first, second, and third, but once you get the fourth, you're running that all the way to 19th, which is the other side, 20th, and you begin at 21st. The 21st century countdown. All your numbers reside in the first 21. But then there's levels of understanding numbers. I only can tell you the stories. So we did this over here. 9 goes down here. I showed you where 9 was over here. We showed you Yo for Earth. The reason for the dot is because Mars is number 51 and Earth is number 52. And in Roman numerals, I would be doing this for Earth and I would be doing this for Mars. So right away, Earth gets number 7 and Mars gets number 6. In the spirit is 76, and the fabrication is 1 times 6, 1 plus 6 equals to 7 equals to 6. And the red and the white on the flag, okay, comes up to 13. And that number 13 is valued at 99, the same as Jupiter, which is also telling us about location. 1, 10, 20. When you say 10, 20, you might be able to converge to, either 16 or 19, 26, 29. The reason for this is that when you're adding 9 to any number, whether it's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, doesn't matter. 9 and 2, 11. 9 and 4, 13. 9 and 6, 15. 9 and 7, 16. 9 and 8, 17. 1 and 7 is 8. 1 and 6 is 7. 1 and 5 is 6. 1 and 3 is 4. 1 and 1 is 2. So we have 2, 2, 4, 4, 6, 6, 7, 7, 9, 9. Pythagorean counting. It's that simple. So now we understand now why was Mars? Because Mars, having that single line, I can put the single line here. I can't put a single line in between here. Either I got 2 single lines or I got 1. But Mars, if you're going to create something around this, right, you can do this to it. With Earth, you must do a minimum of this to it. So now you would have just a singular box. So you'd have 1 box, and here when you split it up, you'd have 2 and 2 boxes. So when we're looking at this, right, I split Venus up, okay? I split Venus up with Mars. Here's where Venus and Mars comes in. The 22nd and the 13th letter. 4, 4. 7 times, okay, 4, 4. In this situation over here, right, that box is going to get encastrated inside over here. That'll be a 3 by 3 area. Okay, 3 by 3 area. In order to create that 3, it's going to be created by 1 by 2, like we did at the top of this equation here, the 1 and 2 over here. So this is the way this situation ends up. I'm not putting Venus I'm not putting Venus with Mars. I'm putting Mercury with Mars. But if I did it the other way, okay, we're going to have a whole new equation. I'm going to have to go back. I have to get a little bit to drink. And it's all about equations, where they come from. Every equation, whatever I do, exists somewhere in one way or another. I expand it. They never said to make Mars, since Mars is number 51, shouldn't it be the L letter in Roman numerals for 12 instead of the V, which is number 22? Ironic the way things are just 10 apart. 10 is a string. Why is 10 a string? If I take this and I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, guess what? If this was a football game, okay, it'd be 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. If this was a football field, I go up to the center, the high point is at the center, the total field is 100 of what I ran, 50 of yours and 50 of mine. If you didn't bring your field over into my game, I wouldn't be able to run the 50. I'd have to run it around my own field. And when you're talking field, you can also talk about energy fields if you want, but I'm not right into that realm right now. I have to, anyways. Another thing about 13, the ironic thing about it is the association of numbers and stuff. And in fact, the word Trump, you know, the game Trump, the Trump card, well, that's 88. And inside of it, there's two dark letters. T is 20, and it's a gateway. And M, you know, the big M, the two portals, is 13. So the T and the M, right, equals to 33, like the trademark. And the U, and in fact, there's like umpire, and the P, which is like for pure, equals to 55, and that's our freedom, our sky freedom electric company, 3 and 5. The mathematics. Anyways, I shouldn't get into that right now. I got to get a drink. I'm rushing it because I'm thirsty. Just give me a minute. Just want to check if my channel's working. Don't be shy. Say something to me. I don't know any more than you, you know, just because I'm here speaking, what more can I know than you, right? So let me take a look over here. I got some guy, Bruce and Kathy discussion group. Really, it's just very intriguing. So I need to see this a little bit deeper now. Venus is number 81, and it's ironic that 3 times 81 is 243. And every time you get a number, it's there, it goes somewhere. It means it matches, it does something. I don't know what the end magic, the end result is, but 3 times 81 is 243, which is is it the hertz, the vibration, 432? Doesn't matter which way it is. They're all there. The thing about this one is when it gets there, what perfect number is going to go into it? Is it only going to be divided by 5? Because everything divides by 5. Everything becomes half of what it is. And 2, everything multiplies by 2. It becomes twice as much as what it was. Half breaks it down. 2 builds it up. Sounds like planet Earth. 25, 52. Jack in a box. So let's get back to this. So now that we have Venus 24/3, is that the 24 hours of the first 3 days of the week to the 1 day that divides the week to the 3 days at the end of the week? How do you want to divide up our week? Or is it the 24th letter? Is it the 24th letter, X? And the reverse of the 24th letter is C. And those are number for number. And it's the house of Bate, the house of DC, the divided planet, right here. Number 43 divides. Number 43 divides. This cube, okay, might have 4 around, in which once it has 4 around, the bottom supports the top. right? Once it has 4 sides around, if you were looking at a piece of paper, right, and you'd have 4 sides around, we're not talking about the 2 sides of the face. It's just like the cube, except one is 1D and the other one is like whatever, 3D or 4D. So the other thing about that is you have 3 sides, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Right, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But let me see if I have the other one like that. If you put it into another perspective, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. The way our gears. Can I hold them like this? No. The only way to do it is like this. So my hands are going to be automatic like this. So I 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Same thing. Same thing. If I wanted to go, it doesn't matter how round this ball is. In order to pass it, I have to stay out here. If I pass it, I have to pass it low. Pass it low, pass it high if I want to get any closer to the inside of the ball. And then if I do pass it low or high, I'm going to be underneath the zone of the area space occupied by the ball. That if the ball should be spinning in all directions, okay, and it wasn't exactly a ball, you would chop off whatever is close to it, but it's a ball. And balls can turn. Like in the center of this, there's a crossing. And on the crossing, it has 6. There's 6 number 1s. There's 8 number 3s, and there's 12 number 2s. The NASA. NASA gets 12 of 2 colors because there's one here and one here. Then there's one here and one here. One here and one here. And then the other side, and then the bottom. Don't forget, this spins this way, and this way. The 3 signs of NASA. So let me get back to this over here. So this vibration, 24th letter, 3rd letter. Now, what's the reverse of C? That's right. It's D. And what's the reverse of that? It's W. The opposite side, Z, Y, X, ABC. ABCD, Z, Y, X. Hold on a second. WX. So W is first, and the reverse is D. And what's the numbers? 2, 3, 4. Here it's 2, 4, 3. Here it's 2, 3, 4. Same thing. They come together on opposite sides in their numbers alone. In this one, it is the gate. And the reason it's a separation gate, it's a separation gate, the Joker's gate, the Sun gate, the Fox pass, because the multiplication to create this gate is 9 by 5. Let me explain it to you. Number 24, 2 times 4, 2 plus 4, is exactly 101 away from the 7 number. If you take these 2 cubes, okay, and you take a look at the number 8, you flip it around and you get 5 and 1. If you take number 8, you'll turn it around and get 42. So you can see that your 4-2 gate, which is also the word cat, also the word 9, also the word 5, is what's going to create 6 and 8. Now remember, I said 5 and 9 equals to 14, but so does 6 and 8 equal to 14. 5 and 9 is also a perfect number on this cube as 6 and 8. And the odds of 5 and 9 are 7 for 5 wagered. 5 and 7 is the numeric value for the moon, and as well noted to BDC dividing of the 7th gate. The reason for that is because 75 can also be used as 75%. As well, I'm just trying to look at, they're in quarters. Since we can measure 3 times of a quarter Earth numeric value and Jack, the word Jack, okay, which creates itself as K, 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 will create C3, created by A and J is also a number 1. There's the 10th letter. 1 plus 0 equals to 1. It is the mirror, the completion of A, B, C, D, the mirror, because 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals to 10. The 10th letter is J. The inverse is Q. We'll talk about that after. So where was I with this? Yeah, so we have 2 and 4 split to 5 and 3. 2 and 4. So 5 and 9, and the word joker equals to 59. And 59 is also 50. 59 represents 50 in certain equations for the reason that anytime you use a 0 plus a number, the number remains itself unless multiplied. With 9, what happens? Okay, if you add 9 to any number, to a single digit, the number will remain the number itself other than the 9. Number 5 plus 9 equals 5 and 9, 14. 1 plus 4 equals to 5. Whatever you add with 9 will always add up to the number you added prior to adding the 9. So those are bookends for what is 6 and 8 to what is bookends of 4 and 10. And 4 and 10 is very interesting because the string, I can't call it the string theory, but the string of numbers is 10 numbers. Well, the front of the pen and the end of the pen are both the ends, whether it's on the left side or it's on the right side. But if it's on the left, it has one numeric value. And if it's on the right, it has another numeric value. If it's on the left, it's using the letter L for left, first letter. If it's on the right, it's using the letter R. 12, 1, 4, and 7 equals 12. Or R, 3, 6, 9 equals 18R. Just ironic the way it works out. RI, 2 letters of their own family, reversed in each other. The other is LE. They're not in the same family, but they revert to what is LE, is OV. And in the word, it creates itself, love. And the numeric value is 54. Same with the word breath and the word sun, which shows up in 3 planets. One of them happens to be Venus. Let's go back to finish with the moons like we had 10 minutes ago. Okay, yes, we also talked about this over here, right? So that would be 2, 3, 4, 2, 4, 3. I wonder what that would, if I put that in order, we would have 4, 7, 1. We'd have 4, 7, 1. I like the result. I like the result, and the reason I like that result, if I can find my calculator, is because I like this 1, 4, and 7. These 3 numbers. There are 13 months in the year. There are 12 months in the year, right? But there is actually 13, but there's 12 of 28 days. Every month is 28 days, but it only happens 1 month. Doesn't go more than 28 except for the leap year. There's 4 months of 30 days, and there's 7 months of 31 days. 1 shifts into 2. 1 and 2 both shift into 3. And 3 remains in its own house. 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 5, 6, 1 and 8, 9. 4 and 2, 6, 4 and 5, 9, 4 and 8, 12. 1 and 2 is 3. 7 and 8, 15, 1 and 5 is 6. And each one of these that I touch creates its design. 7 and 5 is 12, and then it touches these. You see the way it brings up, it creates this design over here. It creates that within its own moon. Numeric value 75 is for moon. Earth's moon. So anyways, let's get back to this. So in this one over here, this one becomes 133, and this one becomes 154. So this becomes 910. Okay, I'm just trying to see. Okay, so since this one ends over here and this one ends over here, again, it shows me polarity. These are the letters M and O, 6 and 4, 11, 2. I'm just thinking 2. This will end up being 1. This one will be 2. This one will be 1. I'm just trying to see what I can come out of this. The bar mitzvah, this is the letter M. Its reverse is N. The reverse here is O and L, and this one is M and N. Just trying to see if there's a word in there. Molin. I'm just trying to think what kind of word. I'm just thinking. I just know that anytime I see this, it goes towards Mars. So Mars is the mirror, and this one reflects man, because at the age of 13, after 169 passing moons, a boy that has achieved his 13th year becomes a man into his 14th year. And the 14th year is this is the moon, and this is the sun. This is the moon, this is the birth, and this is your gate. This will be 3 and 4. This will be your 4 and 5. This will be your 20 and 9. This will be your 12 and 7. One would be 19. The other will be 29. Also can be noted as 10 and 20. And when you look at this, you say, big deal. Big deal. It doesn't really matter. The reason for this being the way it is, okay, and why they go together as 19 and 29 equals to 39 to a single digit. And this one is the spirit, and this one is the IT birth on our planet, our DNA, our extra time for the month of February, the 29th day. Why are they 10 and 20? The reason for that is for the same scenario, that if I add 9 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just like we did in this equation over here, it won't matter. It's always, so 9 and 0 are going to go back to the same number. So I can go to 9 because nothing's going to change other than the birth. So you can use both the equations. There is no 0 without 9. There is no 9 without 0. 9 is the entirety, the whole face. It's all. 9 is 10, complete. The two ends of the pen is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1. Why 1 at the end? Because 10 is 1 plus 0 is 1, no matter how you get there. But there's different intervals to get there. We can create the space a little bit smaller if we want. We can go like this. If we're starting by 4, we can go 4, 8, 12, okay, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We can go by 5. 5, 1, 6, 2, 7, 3, 8, 4, 9, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What did I do? I counted by 5s. 5 plus 5 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. Plus 5 is 6. 6 and 5, 11. 1 and 1 is 2. 2 and 5 is 7. This is where your gateway shows up right here. 384 days in a Hebrew leap year. So then you have 5. Then 5 and 7 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. 3 and 5 is 8. And then you can do the same thing for 7 and 7. 7 and 7. 7, 7, 7. 7, 7, 7, 7. And then it'd be 6. 6 and 7 is 13. 1 and 3 is 4. 7 and 4 is 11. 1 and 1 is 2. 7 and 2 equals to 9. 9 and 7 is 16. 1 and 6 is 7. The only ones it doesn't happen with is 3, 6, 9, 3. So this runs a series of 4, while these run the string and a series of 10. The opposite of these dice run the same string, that when you have 4 and 6, you're going to have what you have 1 and 3 over to what is 6 and 4. So every time I get confused, and try and remind me that every time I see 64, Zion, Israel, also the fabrication of direct currents, because the multiplication equals to 34. 6 times 4, 6 plus 4 equals 24 and 10. And the numeric value for 1 is 34. So it's the one plug direct current. It must be us, the one heart. In this scenario over here, so now I can invert to 3 and 1 because the opposite of this cube is 3 and 1. So I understand the polarity to this is now man 169, 28. The numeric value for man is 28. 13, 14, and the 14th letter equals 28. Why for man? Because when boyhood achieves the 13th year, they call him man, and he has the bar mitzvah. And what do you bar? You're barring 66, because that's what they call it in this game that you play, bar 66, which invert is barred to creation, because where's your party creation? Right here from the letter K11. The K11 Okay, comes with a hat. But when you're playing blackjack and you see this, you can use that card as 11 to the 11th letter. So I'm not sure of what story is going to be involved in that, but I can tell you that now 64 Zion Israel Bar Mitzvah, okay, ends up into this equation over here. But there's also this part of the equation where it's now 55, and that's where 55, which is Sky Pass, it's not only Sky Pass, it's also Ape, green for go, pay 400 if you land on it, 10 times 40. There was another word I came up with number 22. When it was a big word also. I'm going to have to find, it's a 3-letter word. Anyways, not only that, but man, okay, plus 53 equals to 81. Now, I don't remember what this equation was. I know the invert, yes, was 42, and that is your gateway into the E world through the 9 birth. Because of this equation here, this is your 9 birth to the 5 BC, to the E world. This is through the foxhole in the sun. The numeric value for sun, for breath, for love is right over here. It's the IT system because of its mathematics right over here. So what 10 and 20 are becomes what is the birth. And this one is also the numeric value for the spirit. 13 by 7, which is the cycle inside the Mayan calendar, equals to what is 91. That's when you count 13 cards in the deck. The other thing about 1020 is that when you say 90 in French, you will say 4 times 20 plus 10. So that's the 10 factor. When you say 80, you will just say 4 times 20. In CB codes, I think it's also something to do with location. What's your 1020? And at the same time, this will equal to 80. And this is the association of all of everything. It's also called a natural 9 and 8. And it's everything, I guess you can say it's everything in a ball, because 1 and 2 come together again, 10 and 20. No questions, eh? Let me see where else we're going to go with this. We did man, we did ape, we did the series of 10. What does the series mean? If I had to run 369 into the theory of 10, I would be going these 3 and then a repeat. And then I would do these 3 and then I would start over here. And then I would do these 2 with these 2 and start over here. So how often do I have to pass 4? Okay, how long do I have to pass? Actually, it's 3 numbers before it repeats, right? So I got to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3 is 1, 1, 2, 3 is 2, 1, 2, 3. So it takes 3 rotations of this before the last number, right, repeats over here. 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, boom, look at that, 9. And then when you go 3, it's the same thing as what happened over here. So that's your movement where your 3, 6, 9 would be moving, or 3 numbers will be moving inside of 3 numbers. 3, 6, 9, and 8 gets 3. 3, 6, 9, 3 for number 7, 6, 9, and then 8 gets 3. So 7 and 8 both get that number 3. And we, like I said before, both 3s is made up of 1 and 2. That's 6, 9, that's your rotation of 33. I always like to look at that as the percentage. Do I have a design here somewhere? Maybe we can just do a little design. Is where, oh yeah, I have the design right over here. So maybe I can color it in or something. So then this, right, you see this? Here is the number 9. See this number 9? Here's the circle, and then I got that for number 9. And I just created it a little bit higher. And then I went up and I did number 6. And when you do that, you get the percentage sign. When you get the percentage sign, you get number 8. So when you get the percentage sign, you now go to number 5. You get the number 8. You also have to get a star. Why? Because when I look at my keyboard and I see the percentage sign on the 5, I see the dollar sign on the 4, I see the pound, the 9 lives of the pound, the Earth. Where am I at? Look, I'm at Venus. Mars is where the payout is. The percentage of 8 of the divided heavens to where you see the divided house. This goes over the O letter. 7 and what? What are you including 7? You see 8 has the star, and 9 and 0 are the brackets all in between. Is it all in rotation? The inside and the outside, going round and round the core. So if you're going round and round the core, you need to multiply that by 3. That's the minimum. 2 is back and forth. 3 creates your first dimension. I mean, here, there's no dimension here, there's angle. So here's your up and down and back home. Well, actually, this is actually going to be 4, but I'm not going to tell anybody because although there's 3 sides, there's going to be a base, but this is one dimensional. So it's 3, both 3 and 4. And our alphabet or our numbers actually work around this is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. And the numbers are 147, ADG, and then it's B, E, H, B, E, H, 2, 5, and 8, and then it's C, F, and I. And then it's going to be C, F, and I, which is going to be 3, 6, and 9. So we're running on this here, but our reality to our week keeps turning over on the base of this 4th one where the alphabet is not counted inside that base. What I'm trying to say is because there's 4 sides, but the alphabet's only running on 3. Because the 4th side is what's going to divide one side of the week with the other side of the week running in a 3-1-3 formation. Now the question is, are we going to be counting that as, don't forget, I always spread my wings a little. I don't finish with one thing. Are we going to count that as Thursday, Wednesday, Friday, and then we get to the base, which is Saturday? And then we go to Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. See, we had the base, and then boom, Wednesday. So we have a base on Saturday, and then we get another base on Wednesday. The 4th one. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The 4th one is Saturday. Then you go Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and the 4th one is Wednesday. Then you go and then the base becomes Sunday. And it keeps shifting. It just keeps shifting its base. I don't know if I'm explaining that properly. Maybe I'm getting a little tired, but let me get back to this Earth assembly in Mars. So now we have Mercury, and we have Earth, matter and energy, if you want, and then we have Venus, and we have Mars. Venus gets 81, Venus gets 51, Earth gets 52, Mercury gets 103. 0, 1, 0, 2, 1020. 1020 is 4 by 20 plus 10, or 4 by 20, equals 80, equals 90. This is how the French say it. 90 can be 99, and 80 will be 89. Maybe 80 should only be 88, and it shouldn't be 89. You remember that thing to get back your numbers to the same digit? You always use 9. Well, what if I don't want to do it with this one? Because I know 90, okay, plus 9 equals to 99 plus 9 and 9 equals to 18 equals to 9. If you put 9 with 8, 9 and 8 equals to 17. 1 plus 7 equals to 8. So 8 remains 8, 9 remains 9 with those numbers. But on the cube over here, it doesn't remain like that, because there's one centered here, as if there was one in the center here to 8 that surrounds it. So if I were to go 8 and 8, I'm just going to leave it like that, equals to 16, then you're going to go 1 plus 6 equals to 7. So we're going to look at this as 1. Let's go 10. So we're going to go 1 plus 1 equals to 2. We moved over 1 was the difference. And from 8 to 7, we also moved over 1. So the math fits into each other. By the reduction of 1, this one, by keeping this one at its number, okay, it fits inside the cube. Now, should I be adding 9 or 8? Should I be leaving numbers to be doubled up in their own house before I put a number with anything else? That's another equation. I don't want to get into that yet. Okay, so now what we have over here is Mercury is the first planet. This is the second planet. This is the third planet. The bar mitzvah, when first and third come together. ST and ND, when the gold and the bronze come together, but they leave the silver out. This is the second planet, and this is the fourth planet. So if I connect the first and the second, it'll equal to 3, and the third and the fourth equals to 7. These are the ways we can create these equations. So if I'm going to do 1 and 2 over here, it's going to equal to 3 and 0, meaning it's going to be the first and second planet, and it's going to have no moons. So now let me go with 1 and 3 equals to 4. So if I do 1 and 3 equals to 4 plus 1, because it has 1 moon. Now if I'm going to go 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 1 and 4, okay, equals to, let me see, 1 and 4 equals 2. Let me see, did I do that right? I want to see that I did that right. 3 here, 5 over here, 1 and 4, and we ended up with plus 2. Let me see that I got that right. Now we're going to do 1 and 4, 1 and 3, 1 and 2. Now we're going to do 2 and 3 equals to 5, and 2 and 3 plus 1. Now we are going to go 2 and 4 equals to 6. 2 and 4 have 0. Now we're going to go 3 and 4 equals to 7 and 3. And these are the equations. Now I'm going to explain it to you. For the addition in the first addition, it is the position of the planet. I still did not use this. The letter M, the letter V, the letter E, the letter M. All numeric value number 4. There is no spirit inside of it. Only the Earth has the spirit within. Within Mars, okay, number 26 comes in. It's only one part. If it's a 2, when there's a 2, there's one part. Here, it's a little bit different. It totals 7. They invert from each other. So they own the core. This one does not. It comes from 2 different areas. This is a total of 7. The invert of this one is going to be 14. So this would be a pole planet. This one would not. None of these would. Do you follow what I'm saying? Because of the number of sides. There's 4 sides on this and 2 sides. The ring and the pole. There's 1 pole. There's 6 poles. 2 go together here. 2 go together here, and 2 go together here. Where was I with this piece over here? So yeah, so in French, when they count, this is what they say. They're talking about 20s and 10s. 20s and 10s, that's all the numbers. You don't need to know anything else. Everything else is part of something else. So this would be no moons, and this would be the first 2 planets. Total of 3, that's your creation. Where 1, 2 created 3, that's your 3. So what comes next? Is it 1 and 3 creating 4? Now we have a singular moon. Only when 3 and 4 come together, creating the gateway, total of 7, they are the invert of each other. 3 and 4. 4 becomes the mirror of 3, and they run 3 moons. They run inside of each other in creation. So now if I was running this all together, now mixing up planets, I would now go Mercury and Mars, M and M, 103 and 51. I would also go Earth and Venus. And that would be 52 and 81. And that's the way I would structure this. This would be an 81 equals to 133. And that is actually 4 divided by 3 equals to 1.333. Just ironic that it seemed to work out that way. This would be 7 and 9. This would be 4 and 6. Okay, yeah, that would be it. And the reason for that is 5 and 2 is 7, 1 and 8 is 9. Now the math to it would be 10 and 7 equals to 17. And the math with this one would be 8 and 9 equals to what is 17. Let me erase that and make it neater. I don't know where my stuff is, but so we have 5 times 2. Hold on a second, it's a little blurry. Okay, so 5 times 2, 5 plus 2 is 10 and 7. 8 times 1, 8 plus 1 is 8 and 9. They're both part of what is 17. One fits inside the other. This one is 107, also states for 20. And there's another word that goes into that 107. I forget what it is. 8 and 9, let's call it high. Those are the letters that they are. They invert. Okay, now this is funny because if we had to invert this to the alphabet, we have a slight problem. And the problem is that the 26th letter, which is the last letter of Z, and the first letter, okay, which is A, if I invert them, I invert the alphabet between 1 and 8. Therefore, I have to put the 9 in another position. So if I did that, and I don't do this very often, I have to think about it with others. Alone, it's just my own idea. We have 1, 3, 5, and 7. And then we have the same thing over here. So what happens is number 9 goes in here, in between the two sides. And it's not only by my choice, but it's also the choice of these cubes. And this, 9 is every single side. So therefore, the controller of 9 is in the center of this. There are 54 colors. There are 26 cubes. The doghouse, dog 26, God 26, Queen 62, 6 and 2. 6 and 2, 6 move and 2 stand still. Or 2 move and 4 stand still. The gateway, 2 and 4. 84, Pluto, 3 moons, 84, 3 by 28. 4 cubes of 21 dots, 84. 2 times 84. 168 hours in a week. 4 times 21 equals to 84. But it's 63 and then 21 for the mirror. So 9 goes over here. So we take this, we look at 6, and then we look at 3. And we add them up. It says 9, and we flip them over. It says 5. So it's not me. This is number 5. So 5 and 9 are right over here. They are the supporter of the 7th gate. 6 and 8 are the connecting links. 6 and 8 are the connecting links. So if you were connecting the Olympics over here, you'd be collecting the connecting links right over here, 6 and 8. The house planet, 44, 33. Space, teen, mass. Like I said, in the center of this Rubik's Cube, the center of the cube of a 9 face is the core area. And the core area is in position 5, noted as position 5, or is it 0 into the core area? But irregardless, okay, it holds on to 6 colors. It's 6 colors plus the area void. Area void in rotation. It's still occupying space inside of this cube. And even though you see all these 26, if each one of them had 6 sides, it would equal to 156. And if each of them were multiplied by each side and had 9 dots, that would be 900, 450, and 54. 4, 1, 14, 14. Let me see, did I get that right? 9 by 6, 54. 9 by 5 is 450. 9 by 1 is 900. So that would be 4, 1, 5 and 5 is, oh, it's 10. And then 1, 1404. 404 code error. But if I was looking at this to a single digit, this would be 414, the sun house. So now the empty spot that we don't count that's in the center, should it occupy an area space of 9, it would add on to have another 54 area spaces into a single dot, into a single area. So that single area, that cube will have 54 area dots. Did I get that right? 6 times 26, 120 and 36. 120 and 36. Okay. Your creation of the higher light. Not sure what to do with this right now. We're going to leave it at that. So then we multiplied it by 9 per side. A cube has 6 sides. 6 times 9 is 54 by 26 cubes. Now we're going to get one more cube. And we're going to add on 54. And this is going to be 1458. Just trying to see what else is inside of that. In between what is 1 and 8, the passage in the sun, the IT system, the communication system. Back down to this, the center cube, right? So what we have in the center to the 9 face, okay, is the core 5 to the rotation of 6. And that's this cube over here. Now, I want to get into this. I'm going to talk about this. I have a few things to talk about that just came to light tonight, and I really am very excited to talk about it for myself, to get it off my chest. Something I learned a new equation tonight. I wasn't even looking for it. Just want to see something if I'm not the only one watching myself. Okay, just give me a minute. I'm not sure if there's really anybody here or not. Okay, I'm just going to get something to drink in the kitchen. I'm going to come back. Yeah, if we can buy this building, it'd be so nice if somebody just come and buy this building here. It'd be so nice. Take away my stress. Although for some reason I'd like to be doing this in a peaceful and tranquil society. I guess why possibly that I'm here because society is not the way it is, and we all have to do our little part. Now the thing is about this is going to be near the end, and I'm going to talk about a couple of things I found, and it's called where I find the X and the V. When I created this equation over here, in which to understand what this equation is, forget about the artwork. I'm going to do the artwork over here. Okay, we're going to use 4 areas. Sorry, 9 areas. 9 areas. I'm just using 4 cubes. Okay, this would be the Mars cubes. I can use, maybe I can use the Earth cubes. I don't know, but with Mars cubes, because they're perfectly evenly divided, you can use the cross, right? The double cross. Why buried between the double cross? Possibly because Mars can divide this whole thing up. Although this would be an Earth 9, right? Here are all these sections of 4 with the sections of 4 of what Mars stands for. Earth is 3, and this is not 3. 3 is by 120 in your basic creation of alpha beta. 0, 1, 2 equaling to 3. 3 numbers equals to 1 each average. But the other one is 4 by 90, 0, 9, 0. Earth and Mars coming together. So this equation, so with this equation, what happens is see these 4 here, and then these 4 here. Could I have gone higher? Could I have gone higher? Well, let's take a look. I have these here, and I have these here. Okay. Should I have flexed out and then up into my design? So we're going to take a look. If I would have flexed out, would I be flexing out half an area space to be coming together with another area space? See, here's an area space. Or would I flex out twice? I'm only flexing out a single time. So now I question myself, should we be flexing completely to have full cover on the next size and making everything equal as big as each other? So can I call this the flange? Can I call this the flange where it's opening up? Now, if you ever take a look at the deck of cards, the king and the jack are actually wearing this, but it's on a different angle. See, this is the beginning of your hexagon, right? Depending whether I put a line or no separation. With a separation line octagon, you will create Earth. Without that, you'll continue on to Mars. Actually, it'd be both. It'd be both, because if I go this way now, right, you're creating Mars, Earth. The points end up to talk about Mars, but the center here is talking about Earth. So this is east, west, Mars, north, south, Earth. I don't know what it exactly means, but anyways, when I do this, in here I went inside, out here I go outside. So when I create my next box over here, let me see, did I get that correctly? When I connect my next box, okay, over here, what's going to happen? Just give me a second. I'm trying to think of something. Hold on. Yes, yes. When I connect my next box and I cross over the opposite way, you know, my first 9 and my second 9. So my second 9, right here, I flanged out. So if I flange out, that's fine. I can flange out. I can flange in or out. I can go to one side or the other. But when I do this, I create this here. When I did it here, it goes on the inside. When it goes on the inside, it creates a V. So I know it's going in. When it goes to the outside over here, which is presented on the jacks and the kings, okay, it creates an X. So this one will get the 24th letter and 10. And this one over here, the indentation, is going to get number 5 and 22, 4 and 6. This is going to be where you come into busting out. This is going to be talking about monkeys. This is where 4 and 4 come together. 2 and 2 and 1, 2, 3 are the only ones that within their own build their own case as 6 and 6 and 4 and 4. 2 times 2, 2 plus 2. 1 times 2 times 3, 6. 1 plus 2 plus 3, 6. The other number that does that is number 88. 8 times 8, 64. 8 plus 8, 16. 16 plus 64 equals to 8, but it equals to 8 with 1 and 7, and that's your Q gate. I call it because it's the letter Q. So that's what happens to this, where X and V, and you can also call it a strike and a spare. If you were going into bowling, and both of these have numeric values for them. The other thing I learned, I hope I can explain this. Am I holy? These initials into what is a lie. Okay, I did the earth thing already. Oh, yes, there was something else inside of here where number 3, what is number 8? Oh, yes, that multiplication, right? The multiplication of these. And where did I get 2 and 2 to come together yet? No, I didn't get 2 and 2 to come together, where Venus, can I get another page out here? Where Venus as the second planet and Mars as the 2 moons, to where Earth as the 3rd planet, and the 1 moon. Venus is second planet, no moons. Mars is 2 moons. Earth is the 3rd planet. Mercury is the 1st planet and no moons. So we can see this equation like this. That's the way this equation would be, to where the Mercury, 1st planet, Earth, 1 moon. 1 times 1 equals 1. 1 plus 1 equals to 2. 2 plus 1 equals to 3. That's your base creation. This one over here be 2 times 2. 2 plus 2 equals to 4, equals to 4, equals to 8. So now we know where 3, 8, 13, and 18 come from. C, H, M, R. The opposite is X, S, N, I. I have no idea what it means. Sine, Nise, WX. Did I say this? X? X, sin, sin X. Anyways, this is these equations, and I'm not sure if we talked about it, but 81, 52, 103, 51, 6, 4, 7, and 9. 9 by 7 is 63. 63 times 4. 126, 252. I'm just trying to see what comes out of the equation. 12 and 1, 31, 3, 15, 12. They're the opposite letters of each other through alpha, beta. I keep Mars in the center. 12-minute periods, 15-minute periods. Just trying to see. 9 times 7 times 4 times 6. 15, 12. Plus 26. Is that what it is? 16, 26. plus 26 equals 1538. I'd have to understand what that means. It means something to me, but 8, 10, 3, 5. 5 and 3 and 1 and 8. I know 11 comes into creation. Well, what that tells me is that when 11 comes into creation, what happens is it's a gateway. Just give me a second. I have to understand why is it a gateway. Okay, the 11th card is like the ace. There's two parts about the ace, whether it's the point of the ace or the two sides of the ace, because ace both has two values. The ace has the value is 1 and 11 in blackjack. It can also be called the 13th card, the first card, the 14th card, with the first card ace valued at 0. We have to have a shift or a not a shift. One of the reasons is in the deck is the ace come out as the card after the king or before? Which area is actually the voided area? Is it the 1 position or is it the last position? Anyways, Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. If you have any questions, and also we're going to be going over everything we can do with these stars. And remember that, yes, there's one last thing. I'm going to try and explain this if I could. Accordion and folding doors. If you took accordion and folding doors and put it in a circle like looking like a gearage, there would be, depending on how many doors or how many lines there would be in your star. So if you were looking to look and you couldn't see, is because you're being blinded, you're being blocked, rather than your star being many points and being able to see through it to very few points, 3 and 4, and being blocked. Thank you for watching this video.